Hey Canucks fans, I almost hate to ask this, but should the team consider trading one of Brock Boeser, JT Miller, or Bo Horvat? I'm Canuck Clay. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Tuesday, November the 30th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. As always, this vlog is brought to you by Van City Experts Real Estate Group. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all your real estate needs. And by Perform and Transform Personal Training and Weight Loss. Sign up now for a free 7-day trial using the link in my video description below. Today is Tuesday night. That means bowling. That means tomorrow you can look forward to a very thorough update at the end of my vlog. But I'm excited because our team, captained by my son Jacob, we're playing against Sean's team. So in a funny twist of fate, because Sean's teammates are technically bowling better than him this season, he's actually the leadoff. As you guys know, I'm the perpetual leadoff for my team. So that means Sean and I are playing head-to-head tonight. So I'm excited for that, and I can't wait to tell you about it. My prediction is that we're going to split 2 games each, but he has the potential to bowl bigger games than me. So I'm going to guess that he's going to beat me in total. So if I get 4 out of the 10 points tonight, I'll be happy, but look for a complete update tomorrow. Thanks to everyone, to all of you who joined Parker and me for Canucks After Dark last night, and thanks also for the great feedback on my new series, Canucks Week at a Glance, which I'll be doing every Monday morning. Okay, I want to talk about this topic because it's not something I'm saying we should do, but this is what I want to get your opinion. I want to create some discussion. The whole point of this community that we're building on this channel doesn't mean we always have to agree. It doesn't mean that I'm always going to say something that I think you should agree with, or I'm always going to say something that's full of drama and controversy. That's really not my style. But I think if we're mature Canucks fans, mature and knowledgeable Canucks fans, loyal, passionate, all those things, we can't simply say that what's happening right now is good enough. And especially not just for this season, but down the road. I've talked about this a lot on my streams already because people ask me about it. I want to talk about the 3 forwards that are up for contracts over the next 1.5 seasons. And that's Brock Boeser, JT Miller, and Bo Horvat. I'm going to break down each of the 3 players' contract situations. And really my question to you is, of those 3, should the Canucks consider trading at least one of them? And if so, who? Again, let's make this very clear. I'm not saying that the Canucks should do this. I'm not saying that I've heard anything. I'm saying that as mature, knowledgeable Canucks fans, this is something that we should indeed be aware of, be cognizant of, and talk about. So let's talk about all 3 players. Brock Boeser, finishing his 6th year in the league already, drafted in 2015. So he has 3-year entry-level contract, then his 3-year bridge contract. This bridge contract only pays him $5,875 cash, but I'm sorry, that's a salary cap hit. But the way the salary was laid out, he's technically getting 7.5 cash. So let's try that again. He's getting 5,875 against salary cap, 7.5 cash. That means because he's under the old rules, even though he's a restricted free agent, i.e. the Canucks own the rights to negotiate with him exclusively first by giving him a qualifying offer, that qualifying offer has to start at $7.5 million for 1-year contract. Now you might say, Clay, he's not worth $7.5 million. He's on pace for only 30 or 35 points. Why would the Canucks want to even shell out that money? Well, that's why you can actually start negotiating with Brock Boeser right now if you want to. You can. I don't know if Jim Benning's going to be around to do that, so maybe he's not allowed to do that. Maybe they're going to wait for the new GM. Who knows? But you don't have to just wait for the qualifying offer. You can actually sign him right now to a contract extension if you want to. And if the Canucks were smart, they would do that right now because he's not playing at a $7.5 million level, right? 30 to 35 points a season. So do you sign him even if it's for a 3 or 4 year? Because I keep saying right, and that's one of my pet peeves. I'm going to stop saying right. At the end of the season, that'll be 6 years down. So he'll have 1 year left of restricted free agency because after 7 years, you become a UFA. So in essence, whatever he signs now, his next contract, is going to take him to unrestricted free agency status. So do you sign him for 3 or 4 years? Do you try and lock him up for longer, 5, 6, 7, 8 years? And at how much? So that's the key. That's the key. Can you start negotiating now and maybe get him cheaper than 7.5? Or is Boeser and Boeser's agent going to say, no, we're not even going to worry about this until the end of the season because I want to play up my value? The advantage to trading Brock Boeser right now is you can get assets back for him. And I'm going to say this for all three guys, Boeser, Miller, and Horvat. You're looking for a good right shot defenseman. Boeser and Miller are arguably first-line players. Horvat's a second line center, all valuable players. So let's presume that we're looking through the lens of trying to acquire a good young right shot defenseman, and each of these players should be able to fetch that. So the advantage of trading Brock Boeser this season is then you get assets now, then that other team has to worry about re-signing him. And you could argue that, would you argue that Boeser gets you the most because the team that's trading for him does get rights to, because he's still an RFA, they get rights to negotiate the next contract with him, exclusive rights. So that's the biggest advantage to trading Boeser as opposed to Miller and Horvat. So would you consider trading Brock Boeser? Let's move to JT Miller. When we traded for him in the summer of 2019 at the draft, he had 4 years left on his contract. He's in the third of those 4 years. A pretty good contract, $5.25 million. He's the Canucks' leading scorer this season. He was the leading scorer 2 seasons ago. We know, I've talked about him a lot, we know how passionate he is, how outspoken he is, demonstrative, rolling his eyes, F-bombs, whatever, yet an undisputed leader of this team, a winger, can play center, all three from a standpoint of even strength, penalty kill, and power play. So a very valuable player. So he's our highest leading scorer right now, our highest scorer. So that's why you wouldn't want to trade him. But you could argue he's got really good trade value right now because his salary is only $5.25 million cap hit. And then if you trade him at this deadline coming up, then the team getting him gets him for 2 playoff runs, the end of this season and then an entire season next year. Disadvantage, he'll be 30 years old at the end of that contract, and he's an unrestricted free agent. So the team that's trading for him, technically, they don't have exclusive rights. He becomes a UFA. Then you got to think, does he want to re-sign here in Vancouver? Has it been too crazy of a career here already? So many things to consider when it comes to JT Miller. Again, he could fetch you a lot right now, given that the team trading for him would get him for 2 playoff runs and a good contract, $5.25 million. So there's the argument for trading JT Miller. Then there's the captain, Bo Horvat. Now, admittedly, of the three, this is the weakest argument, I think, of the three, because second-line centers are hard to come by. And yes, Bo's he's got 1.5 more years on a $5.5 million contract. He signed that. Oh, I said right. He signed a $33 million 6-year contract 4 years ago. So just like Miller, his contract ends at the end of, not this season, but the end of next season. Like I said, $5.5 million. He becomes a UFA. He's 2 years younger than Miller, so he'll be only 28 when his contract ends at the end of next season, not 30 years old. And he's a second-line center. So to me, that screams value all over the place. He'll probably be in line. I never finished my thought. Miller will probably be in line for $7 to $7.5 million. I think Horvat will be in line for $7 to $7.5 million. But this is the one where I think doesn't make sense for the Canucks to trade because he's drafted by the Canucks, groomed to be their captain, and I truly think he wants to stay here. I think even more so than JT Miller. There's kind of more more at stake for him here. Having said that, maybe Horvat's going to be sick and tired of the losing as well, and he hasn't had a chance to go on a deep playoff run with the Vancouver Canucks. But the reason why I think this is the weakest case of the three is because second-line centers are hard to come by, cost-controlled. You're still going to get another good at least 4, 5, 6 years out of him because he'll only be 28 when the contract ends. He'll want to cash in like most third contract players do, but this is probably the one that I wouldn't really explore. But Canucks fans, I would love to hear from you. I've kind of laid it all out right now. Brock Boeser, RFA at the end of this season, JT Miller, UFAs at the end of next season. If we're talking about this season, because I think with Miller and Horvat, if you even want to consider trading them, now's the time to do it, i.e. this season, because their trade value is going to be much stronger given that the team receiving them will have 1.5 years of them as opposed to only 1 year with them. So I'd love to know, of those three players, which of those three players do you think is the most movable? You can talk about which of those three players fetches you the biggest return, but I think overall, I would love for you to summarize your thoughts. And of any of those three players, Brock Boeser, JT Miller, Bo Horvat, could you see one of them being moved at this season's trade deadline? And that would be within the next 3 months. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. I've kind of laid out an argument for all three. Who do you think is the most likely to be traded? And if you're telling me, Clay, they're not going to trade any of them, put that down in the comments. If you're telling me, Clay, they're going to trade all three of them, put that down in the comments as well. Shout out to my hero members, nucksfan number 29, Justin Credible, Lucas Gates, and Andrew Chang. And to Hall of Fame members, Jens95, Sim Alexander, Chris Seifert, Adam Brewfield, Shannon Hollingworth, Carol Bovenlander, and HSM Fangirl Gaming. Thanks for your support as always, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You're listed in my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or in my videos, or on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. We're up to 52 channel members right now. That's an awesome number. Thank you for your support. Subscribe if you like to, like this video if you like to, become a member of this channel if you like to, leave a comment down below if you like to. Brock Boeser, JT Miller, Bo Horvat, who is the most likely to be traded, if anyone, of those three guys this season? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, friends, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great day and great rest of your day and great evening. God bless, and go Canucks go.